Hey everyone, this is episode 5 of the Unofficial Talking Badlands show here on Strong Path Entertainment page. I'm Gavin Morse.
I'm Gary Morse.
Alright, real quick, just a quick update on some equipment stuff real quick. Got my part for my camera ordered, so hopefully here, maybe the last 2 episodes, we'll have the piece. Went to Best Buy, couldn't find it. They didn't know what I was talking about. So I had to order it online. I ordered it through Amazon, so it should be here in the next week or so. Play around with it, then we'll start shooting with the actual camera, so the quality will be a little bit better and won't have the glare that we got right now going on. Okay, one more episode to watch, and then we'll do episode 6, and then we'll have a full recap of the entire season and talk about predictions for next season. Keep in mind that if you're watching this, whether you're watching it through seeing the link through my Facebook, my personal Facebook page or my cosplay page, please make sure that you like and subscribe to our entertainment page, as well as let AMC know that we have a show like this going on. Spread it around, because I would like to see a season 2 of Into the Badlands. Okay. Now getting started on Into the Badlands. Alright, basically the scene starts off with MK and Sunny training on top of like one of the main gates. Okay, we see them kind of train back and forth. Basically it's a sparring match. You know, I'm going to attack, you're going to defend, and you're going to counterattack. So basically one person you got who's going to be the aggressor, the other one's going to find ways how to counteract, and back and forth and everything. We see eventually that MK, his eyes turn black like they do. He turns it around and throws Sunny off the balcony, pretty much. You know, that's at least a good 30-foot drop. What'd you say, about 30 foot?
At least 30.
At least 30. Might not kill him, but man, it will booger him up. All right, keep in mind a 30-foot drop on like grass, ground, dirt is a lot different than falling on concrete. Concrete don't give as much. You do. You will bounce on concrete, okay? But it ain't like where it's going to absorb the impact. No, I mean it's gonna hurt. Okay. Sonny wakes up. He's in bed with his girlfriend. And, you know, they kind of talk about what's going on, and basically he knows that it's getting to the point where he's starting to question MK a little bit. He's not fully trusting MK. He feels like MK's telling half truths. All right, he's holding secrets back. In my opinion, this is stupid of MK, but MK is just being a little typical
teenager.
I was going to say that. Yes, this happens a lot in real life too. That was not scripted. Okay, he's been a typical teenager, so with him being a typical teenager, you know, oh, I can do it on my own, I don't need to trust anybody, he has that attitude. Alright, anybody who's an adult, who's worked with kids, teenagers especially, or has teenagers of their own, knows what I'm talking about. I've been teaching martial arts since I was 15, I'm 32, I know what it's like. When I was 20, I wanted to knock some teenagers across the room because they were like that. So basically, one of the key things that what Sonny does is he takes his compass. He opens that book that the Baron has had that MK gave to him. He puts it in there. Things start spinning wildly, you know, in a circle, and stops and points in a direction. So there was a very big significance on the book. So probably at one time, if you remember from the first episode, that Sonny grabbed the medallion from a boy. It looked like could have been his brother or something, and cat messing with stuff. Sorry about that. So Sonny can probably use the book to how to get out of the Badlands. It's supposed to leave to Azura. Anything you want to add so far?
Right. His girlfriend's still trying to translate the writing in it, and she's been having some success, but she hasn't told Sonny everything that she knows about the book up to this point. But if you notice on the compass, when it spins around, it spins both directions, and then it stops. I think it stopped on the south.
I can't remember on top of my head, to be honest with you.
But it gave a direction evidently where Aspis is.
Azra.
Azra. Okay.
Alright. Another thing that you also see is later on, the Baron meets up with Sonny Bay's sister, says take a group of Clippers and Colts and go into the Baroness area and find out what's going on. Because you remember from the previous episode, the Baroness took pretty much all the cogs. Alright, and killed a bunch of Clippers. So his forces are down, his crop could go down, so he's in trouble there. Now, one thing he does is he does tell MK what's going on, but he says it's broken. I think that's part of it is he's trying to see what MK knows. He's trying to see if MK's going to let on more than what he knows, because he's, like I said, he's starting to suspect MK's not telling the full truth. MK's hiding something. I think with MK, I think he has a reason to be a little distrustworthy, but after everything that's happened, he should be more open with Sonny. Especially the fact that Sonny pretty much saved his life about 2 or 3 times already. Like, okay, I need to talk to you and let you know everything that's going on. We go to the Baroness, who basically is sitting there telling you guys, you can work for me, you'll have a better life than what you were working for Quinn. I'm not going to treat you as slaves, I'm going to treat you as regular workers. Shaw's sister says if you don't want to work, she goes, I'll give you food and supplies so you can go off and do, whatever. Do your thing. Now, whether this is true or not, I actually think when she was talking to the people, I actually do think she was sincere. I think she's a little bit cold-hearted to get the point across what she wants done, but there's more to what's going on than she's letting on. I actually think she was being truthful to all the cogs. I don't know about you on that one.
She didn't have any reason not to be, not up to this time.
Right.
What are they going to do?
Yeah. She is still doing the whole thing of cutting every young man that comes through. Matilda's seeing this and asks her mother. And of course, this is at the time the Baroness is kind of having that look like, okay, why are you asking? I want to know so I can help you. She trusts her daughter, but at the same time, she knows her daughter's up to something. And she goes, well, you were, kissing the boy and everything, and so, she kind of has a feeling that that her daughter, Michaela, has feelings for MK. Now, one of the biggest things, also, if you remember from the previous episode, MK got cut by her. And he went all berserker mode, but he stopped. He didn't, because he was focusing on her. He didn't kill her. And that was something else she kind of let on a little bit about MK, but without letting on at the same time. Talked about, well, what are you going to do when you see him? Well, I'm going to train him to use his powers, because every time he uses his powers, his life force drains. Now, getting to the philosophy of life force, it's more of a Asian philosophy. And I've done some study on it, and there's 2 different things. There's spiritual energy and there's life energy. It's 2 different wavelengths. Now, to understand this real quick is spiritual energy kind of gives you the ability to shoot like little blasts and everything, stuff like that. Life energy you have, and it can be replenished, okay? But it's a higher potency, alright? Spiritual energy is think like your muscles. They get drained, they replenish. You won't die for losing your spiritual energy. You'll just be really weak as crap. Life energy, on the other hand, it doesn't shorten your lifespan, but every time he uses it, he uses more of it instead of controlling it. And that's the problem with him. What she means by he'll die is he'll get weaker and he'll die means if he uses it too much in succession, without learning how to control it, he's going to die because it takes longer to replenish. Anyone that ever played a game and everything, you've got that one bar that you don't want to use all the time. Because it's going to drain, it's going to take forever. Alright? Same concept, the only difference is it eats away at his health bar. Okay? Your health bar can replenish, but after so long, it's going to take longer because you're not giving your body enough rest in between. Did I get that across right?
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
Well, the Baroness let on that he has to have training and that she's capable of being the one to do the training in order that he doesn't use all of his life energy up, just like what you said.
So this also brings into the fact is the Baroness knows a little bit more than what she's letting on as well.
A lot more.
A lot more. I think she actually does have keys to Azura, but hasn't come out yet. Now remember, we've only seen her and Baron Quinn. We haven't seen anything of the third Baron who was shown in the previous episodes. All right, the black guy. I can't remember his name. I know he's an actor. He's been in a couple of different things, but there's still 3 other Barons, and we don't know anything about them yet. Even though Quinn might have the largest Clipper force, I think one of the Barons might be a little more. I'm still waiting for one of the Barons to come out and be like the Baron you don't want to mess with. Might have the smallest Clipper force, but he, I mean, one Clipper could be like up to 20 Clippers on the other people. So, but moving on. Ryder actually goes to the old Clipper, the old Regent, and asks him for advice. Basically sitting there and saying, hey, I need your help and everything. Kind of, to me, like they have like a nephew-uncle kind of relationship, even though all the stuff and everything, because he sits there, he talks to him. This is the first time we've seen Ryder actually talk to somebody in a normal tone, and in more of like, hey, I need help type of tone. So you see Ryder actually showing more of a normal side to him, not that authoritative on my father's son side. He does ask him, basically say, if there was a shift in power, what would you do? He basically sits there and says, hey, I'll go with whichever way to keep me to live. That's basically because the fact is that, he's paraplegic, he can't do much. Probably still whoop some cogs into place and try to take out a couple of Clippers, but that's about it.
Well, you still be able to train from the sidelines,
Mm-hmm.
like a coach. He also alluded to when Ryder ran off, he had to go and save his bacon, so to speak, minus 3 toes.
Yeah, so he knows about what happened to Ryder, and actually he was kidnapped.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why he's got a lot of respect for him. Now this was also the first time you hear more about Ryder's family. He tells him, "Hey, we'll go visit your grandfather," and it's like, "Well, Mom hasn't seen him in years, so this will be his mother's dad, because we all know his father's dad was killed." And he says that in the first episode, I think. Yeah, first episode. Now, no, it was the second episode. Second episode.
Okay.
Continuing on, he goes and meets up with his grandfather, who is a religious man. Now, I don't know what religion it is. He's basically...
It's okay.
Hold on, everybody. Sorry about that, everybody. You might see a little skip in the video right here. It's because my mom's dog kind of barked a little differently than he normally does, and I need to go check on it. Sorry about that. Okay, continuing on from what I just said. Ryder meets his grandfather, who basically sits there and said, I teach people the way to peace and everything, but basically at the same time says there's no such thing as gods or anything, da-da-da-da-da, just teach them a better way. This to me, I could see that due to the fact is that these people are butthurt because they're thinking that there's no God because God is leaving us in this state. So they kind of have the attitude like, we live a better life, we don't need a God. To me, this is definitely kind of keeping up with the common trend nowadays in actual real life, where a lot of people have the same attitude. So the story is also kind of hitting a little bit more on what's happening in the modern world, in our world, I should say. Basically, one thing also is Ryder talks back and forth with his grandfather. He says, basically, I lost your mother when your father rode in. So you kind of tell there's no love loss. Ryder does talk about Azra a little bit. Says that a boy had, throws him a pendant. Said the boy had this pendant and everything. The biggest thing, though, that we're seeing at the same time is that you start seeing his grandfather kind of getting that look like, okay,
This ain't good.
this ain't good. So basically, he tells Quinn, Ryder, he says, you're always welcome here. Give him an open invitation. Always come back, you're always welcome here. And Ryder has the attitude, I'll make my own path. So you kind of tell he doesn't really love his grandfather that much. He went for advice, and his grandfather kind of, to me, does have a little bit of the attitude Quinn has. Just a little bit, in my opinion. Not so authoritative, but more like
Alpha dog.
Yeah. You want to add anything so far?
No, that pretty well sums it up.
I'm trying to give you a chance to talk some too.
Okay. No, that summed it up quite very well.
Okay. Moving on. Also, there was a conversation between Ryder and MK. MK, being a little snot-nosed brat that he is instead of saying, okay, well, could I please have my medallion back? It was my mom's. It means a lot to me. He, instead of saying it like that, comes more to an attitude, say, hey, I want my medallion, back. And Ryder has the attitude like, oh, so you're going to buck up to me? Oh, you ain't going to get it back then. I think if he said it more nicely, I think Ryder would have sit there and said, okay. He goes,
We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about. He goes, we'll talk about it later.
It was alpha dog to alpha dog.
Oh yeah.
Barking at each other.
But Sonny and as well as MK were going into the Baroness's territory. And I think you want to talk about this just a little bit. And I'm sorry about the glare, everybody. We got the sun hitting us right here. Real bad, and I apologize. It's actually the best room right now to have light. Well, like I said, next episode will be a lot better on the lighting.
Well, the Clippers and Sonny, and of course MK, they travel into the Baroness's territory carefully. MK notices a butterfly shrieking in a tree. He starts to run over towards it, and he is summarily decked by Sonny. Of course, he's perplexed, why did you do that? And then he gets a stick and runs it out in front of him, and whack, bear trap, breaks a stick in half. Of course, bear trap will break a stick, it'll break a leg just as easy. So Sonny starts looking around and whatnot, and he gets a stick, throws it up into a tree. He said, why a tree? Well, he hits a tree, and then nuts, other branches and whatnot start to fall, setting off the other traps that are lying around. It's not 2 or 3, it's several dozen traps that are set off. They very carefully go around trying to walk through there. Well, not all of them have been set off. One of the Clippers steps in one of them and gets his leg almost amputated. It breaks his leg, and it's a compound fracture that actually came through the skin. So Sonny goes over there and he opens up the bear trap and helps pull him out. Of course, I couldn't do it. I'd be passed out way before then. And then he sets his leg later on. That had to hurt. Oh, that had to hurt.
You can kind of tell they have a little bit of tolerance for pain, because the fact is that most people would have passed out from the pain. And if you guys know, if you've ever been hit really hard and everything, you don't necessarily black out. It's called a sensory overload. It's also called a whiteout. There's 3 types of outs you can get as a human being. A blackout is just where you basically just pass out. A red out is where all the blood rushes to your head. A lot of people who are Air Force pilots, or even Navy, because they have to do some jumps and everything. They've had redouts before. The blood rushes to your head, you pass out. A whiteout is basically a sensory overload. You can control, even if you have your breathing right and everything. I mean, you can have the best training in the world, and you can still have a whiteout. Messed my elbow up doing a break. When I was 19, broke all 3 bricks, and I hit on my elbow, and I was fine. It didn't hurt that bad, and it started to hurt. So, oh, it's starting to hurt. And I kind of just leaned up against a tree a little bit because everything got white, and I wasn't, it's just basically, it's because the nerves were shit. It was all coming at once. So he's, for him not to be able to pass out and everything, he was lucky, because the common man would have passed out.
Also fortunate too, in the break, that it didn't cut his artery. He would have bled out in less than a minute.
Yeah.
He was very fortunate in that.
Sonny Reese said it. I will sit there and say this on the people who are doing it. They're getting the sounds of the breaking reattaching just right. It's sounding like the real thing. Somebody who has heard a bone break before, it's not a sound you will ever forget. Well, in that night, MK takes the first shift, as well as seeing Matilda. Matilda kind of tells him, Mom's looking for you. She knows you're there. She wants to train you and everything, but you need to get out of here. So, and then, of course, Sonny shows up right then and there. Matilda's captured, and what makes it even worse is the fact is they bring her to the compound, the Baron's place, Quinn's place. Quinn says, get all the information that you can out of her. Okay?
Took her to the dungeon.
Alright? Torture her, do what you need to do. Of course, there's this one boy there that basically was going to tell her flat out, I'm going to do whatever I want to. I'm going to have my way with you. You're still going to spill the beans. She bit his ear off. You see that, this was the clipper that, had his leg hurt and everything.
His coat.
Yeah, it's his coat. And he's sitting there holding his ear. He's just kind of going like this. Dumbass. And everything. He's got to learn a lesson. A lot more hot-headed than MK. Now, continuing on from there is also what's going on in where the Baron is. Now, the Baron's talking about, if we don't do anything, our poppy crop is going to go bad. Well, his second wife used to work in the fields. She makes a suggestion, say the reason why they left was because they were treated like this. If we treat it like slaves. If we treat the cows with more, make them, treat them better and everything, they'll have more loyalty to you. More loyalty means better productivity, means,
more power in the long run.
Right. Of course, the Baroness doesn't like this idea. She has that idea like, you bitch, this is the way it is and everything. So basically, she says, give me some of your clippers, some colts, and I'll show them how to do it until we get our next thing of cows that come in. And when the next group of cows come in, she said she can have some of the, basically they're saying some of the colts and everything can watch over and help out a little bit, a cog is not, needs a break or something. They can switch out for like 10 minutes or so, And
well, she was saying that's good for the people like the clippers and everybody else to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a problem, they know how to fix it.
Mm-hmm. Now, so he says, okay. When he's doing the speech, the announcement, he starts getting another attack. And he tells his second wife, lead them, And he tells his first wife, basically, call the doctor. Now, she basically sits there and says, your Baron's going to be alright. First thing she reassures them. And then the scene goes to where she's then the next thing we do see of her is she's showing them how to do the cutting. Okay? How to do it correctly. So they all get to work. And I said they're all listening to her. They're not arguing or anything. They all said, okay, and they're all getting to work. Then the Baron's wife comes in, the first wife.
Ryder's mother.
Ryder's mother. So she's kind of like, okay. And, she's really thinking that, hey, maybe she's really, when I have to remember. But she's also at the same time, hey, this is a good thing. The day ends. She's putting ointment on the first wife's hands, Quinn's mom's hand. Not Quinn's mom, Ryder's mom's hand, because she said, I remember my first day in the fields, my hands were blistered and everything. Said, hey, I'm not here to replace you or anything. I don't want to replace you, but we have to work together and everything to keep this going for Quinn's sake.
And for their own.
And right, and that's what she's telling her. And you kind of hear her kind of say, yeah, okay. In the back of my mind, I'm like, no, she's being too
nice.
Too nice. She pulled a 180 way too fast. Quinn does let on that he was there when his parents were murdered. To what's her name? The doctor. The two doctors that were killed in episode 2. Quinn's girlfriend's parents. I can't remember her name to save my freaking life right now.
Sonny's girlfriend.
Sonny's girlfriend. She basically has a chance to kill him at one point, but she doesn't. She has the attitude, no, I'm going to be a better person. At the same time, it kind of, you can tell Quinn's asking for death. He really is. But she kind of has the attitude, no, you want the easy way out. I'm going to let you suffer,
Well, I think she's also thinking about, too, then that means Ryder comes up, and Ryder will be a lot worse than the Baron. Lesser of the two evils.
Right.
At the time.
But he put the seed of evil in her. And the fact is, it was Sonny's blade that killed your parents. Alright, now, that's a terminology used saying that Sonny did it without Sonny doing it. It's put a thing of doubt into it. Your blade, he used your sword, and you just let him do it, But you gotta think.
Sonny did it by proxy.
Right. Now, this is also the type of thing is that Sonny's been trained since he was a little boy and everything. You can't deprogram yourself out of something, it's to turn on your Baron like that. If he just turned on Quinn like right then and there, that would have been like a whoa,
You gotta go.
You gotta go. But he didn't, because, you gotta think that's the person he's, sweared his life to, his lord and master for, turn on it. You have to chip out a way at this. And this is kind of the old feudal system thing going on. There's a lot of people under some of the feudal lords. It took them a while to break away because they're so, no, it's my lord, it's my master. I can't go against him, and then eventually starts gnawing at them. Okay? Basically, though, near the end, of course, the Black Widow finds out her daughter was captured. She says, no, Matilda won't give up any secrets. She'll die before she does it. And she said, I'll go in alone. She wants to save Matilda. So she does love her daughter. Okay? You can kind of sit there and tell, because she has that look like, no, she wouldn't, and has that look like, I don't need her dead. I don't want her to die. And you've got MK, Sonny, and the cult that got his ear bit off. They're going to torture her, and basically there's a little feud between the two cults, MK and the other cult. No, you can't do this, blah blah blah. Black Widow shows up. Her and Sonny go at it. Very good fight scene. She gets beat up a little bit, but we see different weapons used, not just the sword, Sonny's sword. There's hand-to-hand combat used. Sonny actually grabs a shield, starts blocking because of two maces that the Widow grabs, and she actually gets some hook swords. They're down in the dungeon, the armory area. The fight scene was actually done very good. I dare say she's going to be pretty messed up after that. MK does try to save Matilda, get her out of there so she can get her mom out of there, but the other cult kind of has a tendency, nope, you're not going to do it, and then he's basically about to beat her up and rape Matilda, if not kill her. MK does slice his hand open and shoots a little shockwave and kills the other cult.
more than a little shockwave. It knocks the iron gate off, bar gate off the dungeon.
Okay, so we're seeing that MK's power is getting stronger. He's getting stronger, but at the same time as you're draining him a lot more. Of course, Sunny's sitting there like, oh crap, we're about to have a fight on our hands. Now the Black Widow's already been injured at this point because she got sliced right here in the abdomen. Now she had a little extra bit of armor right there, which is a smart move on her, so she'll probably be okay after a couple episodes, but I don't see her fighting the next episode. I mean, it's at least a good surface cut. I mean, and guys, right into the abdominal, it don't take much for your guts to spew out. It really doesn't. I'm not trying to gross anybody out. That's the reason why a lot of the heavier armor is actually right along the abdomen, not so much the chest. Your chest can take a little bit more of a cut than your abdominal. Abdominals. But there's also a thing right now is that at the very end, not only did the Widow see this, Matilda saw it and Sunny saw it. Quinn saw it also. And Quinn is already in a bad mood at this point due to the fact that his second wife, well, talks with his first wife and she says how much she loves him and everything. He says, I do love you too. His second wife comes in later and basically just bringing him soup. Hey, you need to get your strength back. And he's talking to her and everything, and sit there and say, hey, you got so and so that my first wife to actually do some work. How the hell did you pull that off and everything? And he's being sincere. And then all of a sudden, when she's feeding him, about to feed him, help him regain his strength, she starts to fall down and foam at the mouth.
It says you're right there,
Poisoned. Don't know who poisoned her. Could have been the first wife, could have been somebody else. We don't know yet. Prediction, I don't know what's going to happen on the last episode. I'm looking forward to it. Sorry for the hiccup, guys. Yes, it was a little bit longer of an episode than usual. Anything you want to add?
No, can't wait till the next episode.
Alright, everybody. We'll see you next time for episode 6.